So joining me now is former Pentagon official and Navy veteran Brent Sadler. Brent, thanks for being here. Let's pick up on that note. Iran using this period of the Memorandum of Understanding to, in fact, prepare for this next phase of the war.
Well, none of that is really surprising, certainly to those who have been following this for many years. The Iranians lost the initiative in the first 2 weeks, and they were trying to find a way ever since to regain it. And I'd say it's been fairly limited in their success, partly because their military, their Navy, their weapon systems, their Air Force have been largely annihilated, decimated. But they still have a fairly sizable army, military force, the IRGC, and their street-controlled thugs, the Basij, and they were able to reconnect with their allies, the Houthis, in Yemen, and restart attacking on the shipping. But it's been fairly limited. I think in the pause now, it appears the president's shifting into a longer-term economic pressure in the lead, with military being more responsive. The military is going to have to stay there, mind you, but going after these proxies to degrade any potential for the Iranian regime to kind of deliver on that last point in the list, and that is accelerate the offensive actions from their proxies. They listed the Houthis, but it's not limited to them.
Okay, so that I am clear about what you expect the next phase of this war to look like. Largely non-combatant, mostly economic, and pushing, hopefully, the mission would be to push Iran into some type of economic collapse.
Well, to be clear, I think the military presence that you see right now is going to be sustained, because whenever the Iranians start to threaten, rather than waiting until they attack and then respond with a larger series of strikes, which are predictable and giving the Iranians the initiative, it's got to be more like an electric fence. If they start to stick their head up or to get their ships loaded up with missiles, that's when they become a target. And so the military presence, largely naval, will have to stay present, have that intelligence gathering. But the economics are going to have to take on a much more proactive and an offensive role than they've so far taken. So maybe some new unconventional economic activities need to be in there. And that's not purely, accountants following ledgers, mind you. But I think the next phase is going to be, a focus in on degrading the IRGC's ability to connect with their proxies and their proxies themselves.
You brought up the Navy's presence in the region. Let's talk about the Abraham Lincoln. That has become somewhat of a story in the last couple of days, certainly a talking point for those critics of President Trump. Long deployment for the Abraham Lincoln, the USS Abraham Lincoln. Allegations that the sailors endured on the carrier, issues with food, issues with accommodations. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is Admiral Brad Cooper said, "What I found aboard the Lincoln is that many elements of those stories are old news. Issues related to food, hot water, and other concerns raised months ago were addressed by leadership and resolved. The crew is tired, but they continue to fire on all cylinders. History will record this deployment as one of the most operationally intense and consequential of modern era." What do you make of this story about the Abraham Lincoln?
Well, I think a lot of it is, political opportunism by some that don't really understand the demands and certainly don't understand what motivates and drives our sailors and airmen that are out on sea right now. And that is executing the mission, these combat missions. So that's what they enlisted and what they got commissioned in the Navy to do. And so they're doing that mission. And so there's high value for what they are sacrificing. And it is a big sacrifice. And I got to say that the Navy is not in the healthiest position really for well over a decade of bad decisions and misplaced investments. We need more ships. That's the root cause for why these deployments, sadly, are going well beyond the 6-month norm, and it needs to be fixed. It's not a quick fix.
All right, and this is something we've heard about for several months, in fact, for most of the second administration of President Donald Trump. Brent Sadler, thanks for being with us here today.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.